Finding the mean. We are learning to use our problem-solving strategies to solve questions involving mean, median, and mode. So we've been kind of focusing on this for the last 2 weeks, but today we'll be focusing on mean. So let's get our minds on, what does a good problem solver do? Do you just read the question and start working right away? Do you read and reread the question? Do you like to start drawing things out, underlining words, drawing equations, things like that? I don't know what you like to do, but let's remember what we've talked about in class. You guys remember this poster? What does a good problem solver do? So we have 5 steps that we've talked about in class or using the cube strategy, but number 1 is read and reread the question. So why is it important to not just read the question once, but read it again? I will give you a virtual high five to anyone who can answer me this question. Number 2, look for keywords or numbers and highlight, underline, or circle those words. You can choose whatever method works for you. I like to highlight or I like to circle. And then 3, identify and underline the question. Why is it important to underline the question? Think to yourself before you answer. 4, decide on an operation. Do you need to multiply, add, divide, subtract? Is there another strategy or another method you need to use? And number 5, solve and check using the operation. What do I mean when I say the word mean? So the mean is the average of a group of numbers. I like to think of mean as that mean middle, the mean middle child in my family, or just the middle. So we find the mean by 2 steps. Step 1, we add the group of numbers to find the sum. And step 2, we take the sum and divide by how many numbers there are. So if we go back, I'm going to mark up my page a little bit and by drawing. Okay, so if I have a group of numbers, so if I have the numbers 2, 10, I'm doing this with my finger, so it's not super clear, but I hope you guys can see it. 18, 8, 6, 2, 5, and 5. Now, if I added up all those numbers together, so if we did a little addition between each of these, I get the answer 56. Now that's the sum. So we've done step 1. We've added the group of numbers together to find the sum. And then now we move on to step 2. Step 2 is take the sum and divide by how many numbers there are. So the sum is 56. We'll carry that down here. And then we look above and we're going to count how many numbers are in this group. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 numbers total there. And we're going to divide by 8. So 56 divided by 8 is 7. And now we know the mean is 7. 7 is just the average between how many numbers there are, or it's the middle number. Now let's move on to our word problem. This is your word problem for today. Number 1, answer the below word problem. 2 classes wrote a test that had marks out of 25. Here's a chart or T-table that has Class A marks, Class B marks. And you're going to answer A to D. A, which class has a higher mean grade? Which class has a higher lowest grade? In which class did more students get full marks? Which class did better overall? Why do you think so? So what I want you guys to do is take this word problem and try to activate those problem-solving strategies. Do what works for you. I know a lot of you do a lot of different strategies. Some of you use the cubes method we talked about, or some of you use the problem-solving strategies from the chart. or some of you do your own. And that's fine. You need to do what works for you. But I do want to see you mark up the page and try your best. Let me know how it goes. And remember to submit under the homeroom.